Hello everyone, my name is Mark and welcome to Lab 4 of Advanced Physiology Lab. Today we are going to talk about the anatomy of skeletal muscle and the anatomy of a neuromuscular junction. We're also at the end of the video going to talk about 3 types of skeletal muscle fibers, so just be ready for that. So moving on, here's an electron micrograph of the neuromuscular junction. We're going to zoom in on the motor end plate here and continue down into the myocyte with the anatomy. So here we have a cartoon of the zoomed in image of our motor end plate with the nerve and the myocyte down here at the bottom. And we're just going to start talking about anatomy starting with this nerve. Okay, so first off we have our motor neuron here with acetylcholine secretory vesicles. Down here we have the synapse and the postsynaptic membrane, which is just part of the whole myocyte's membrane. These little rectangles represent ligand-gated ion channels, which are responsive to acetylcholine. And over here on the left is the T-tubule, which is an invagination of the myocyte's membrane into the cytosol. This little box right here is going to represent DHP. And this is really cool because this is the first part of a process that we call excitation-contraction coupling, which we'll cover in the next video, and has all to do with how the action potential turns into an actual contraction. And this thing that's physically connected to DHP is called a ryanodine receptor. It's a little doorway to the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is this big rectangle right here. And this is actually going to act as like a reservoir for all these little calcium ions in here. In the next lesson, we'll talk about how calcium plays a role in all this and why it's important. This next cartoon has everything to do with the sliding filament theory. This is the troponin-tropomyosin actin complex right here. In the yellow, we have troponin, the squiggly is tropomyosin, and the red is actin. And down here we have our myosin heavy chain, which is going to have the myosin heads right there. And just for reference, you have the sarcoplasmic reticulum up here, a little calcium, the doorway that can go out of the calcium ATPase, and all that good stuff, okay? So just remember, this is just the anatomy, so make sure that you know it because it'll make the next video a lot more intuitive and easier to understand. Okay, so as promised, you're going to get a quick little lesson about the 3 types of skeletal muscle. So first off, you have type 1, type 2A, type 2B. Alrighty, and on the screen right now is a table comparing the similarities and the differences between. Some of the notable differences are going to be the muscle selection and metabolites. If you can see, type 2A is both glycolytic and oxidative, meaning that it uses sugars and fats, whereas type 1 and type 2B are only oxidative and glycolytic, respectively. Also, just make note of the difference between slow and fast twitch. Fast twitch tends to have higher calcium ion ATPase activity and shorter contraction time. In the next video, we'll revisit these differences and other differences between the 3 muscle types. Alright, so this concludes our first video for Lab 4, and we'll be picking up next video talking about excitation and contraction coupling. Thanks guys, and happy studying. Oh wait, and real quick, here's a quick quiz. Try to name all the components that you can see in this diagram.